There are habit creation. There are habits which can be created, which can create those happiness neurotransmitters. You know, the happiness dose. Happiness dose is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. So the dopamine, what people go to is like the constant, instant gratification. I need everything now. I buy things. I buy a specific bag and I'm happy about it. I buy a house. So it's like you're having this dopamine rush constantly. That's what social media does for you. Yeah. So what people can't get from the bigger picture, they have it from their phone. So they're constantly addicted to the dopamine, right? So the dopamine is that neurotransmitter which gives you that. So there are many ways to create that dopamine. Wow. By practice and training, not being addicted
addicted to a mobile.
Correct, yeah. So how do you do that? So this is the tools what we give to the people to create dopamine internally, right? So you're happy.
And the applications companies have mastered the behavioral science.
Exactly. And they retarget
they are fueling you
wherever you go.
Yeah. Where will you go?
Let me give you some more dopamine. Yeah. And dopamine, then endorphins, like oxytocin, serotonin. Endorphins is when you do exercises. You know, you create these chemicals in your body which creates these endorphins, which contributes to your happiness. So a daily fitness or a walking, some kind of physical activity is so crucial. So the dopamine is also can be created by meditation, mindfulness practices.
I've seen some dancing meditation of yours.
Yes.
That creates dopamine. I want to know more about it.
Yes, I'll come to that.
How does someone meditate while dancing? We just knew that you had to sit in a place, and listen to your heartbeats and vibrate your maybe your breath. I was never exposed to something like this, like dancing meditation. I mean, of course, they look so happy.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I'll come to that. Very, very interesting question, which I'm like so close to. Yeah. But let me just complete this. So dopamine, oxytocin. Oxytocin is when you get pleasure. These are the main things which gives you happiness. These are the neurotransmitters and neurochemicals which are created in your body, right? And you are a pharmacy which can create this happiness dose. And plus you need to have certain other things which I'll come up to. So oxytocin is about the love hormone, the hugs, the bonds what you have with people, right? So that touch and a hug can create so much of happiness for a person, right? When you're happy, you just hug people and you just, you rejoice that joy by the touch.
I'll give you an anecdotal on that. I remember one of my friend, he was hospitalized. And when he was hospitalized, he felt very sad and he was unhappy. And when he knows that I'm coming there, and when I just held his hand and I said, don't worry, I'm there, immediately his emotional senses or his body energy is just enhanced.
Beautiful.
And that's where I was touching.
You can touch people just for the feeling that I'm
connected. And another friend came, so when two friends caught his hand, he said, boss, don't worry, we are there. He just let it go. He says, don't worry, what do you want, I'll do it.
Beautiful. How does it get any better than that, So that's when you touch a person, hug a person, when a partners, they are in love, what do? They touch and hug and kiss. Yeah. That's an ultimate expression of that oxytocin being released in your body. Wow. Right? Intimacy, all of these. So when you touched this friend of yours, you could evoke those emotions. He would have had tears in his eyes. Yeah. I have people next to me. I feel loved. I'm happy. I'm happy truly from within, right? And you can even touch people by showing them that they are understood. You are there. You have their back.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And that's enough.
Love and connection, right? So that is what is the oxytocin, what you can develop, right? That can be used and that can be created by social connectivity. We have practices, you have these gatherings where there is hugs, there are touches, there's connection, just not about body, mental connections, like being there, like you said. And then endorphins, then serotonin. Serotonin is also a happiness neurotransmitter, but it's not created it's created partly, the 5 to 10% is partly created in the spine and the brain. But can you imagine this happiness molecule is created in the gut? 95%.
Yeah?
Yeah. So what you eat also
has a lot to do
has
with
a lot to do with
your
you
happiness.
being happy. Can you believe it?
No.
So you eat junk food, are you going to be happy? Because all the DNA of these, organisms in the gut, the bacteria, the microbiota, is devising. What are you thinking as well? So if you have bad bacteria, or with all the junk food, the pizzas and all of that, you're going to have a different mindset rather than the people who are eating clean and having a conscious eating. And eating also, are we eating mindfully? Are we being present with what we have? No.
And I remember in India, or maybe in the ancient times, there used to be these Brahmins, and they used to eat a lot of plant-based food. And or either the even if they ate non-veg, they ate from very organic or maybe happy cattle, or maybe their minds was totally very different. They if you see their intellectual level was at the highest. And today we are eating the same chicken. Maybe the chicken is dead, or maybe the chicken could be fresh, but yet not happy. Maybe in a confined place, made me deep down in sorrows, and we have consumed it, and that negative depressional energy is then passed on to us. Do you think that something like that works?
Are you a vegetarian or a non-veg?
I mostly love vegetarian food, but when we sit with friends, sometimes I take a bite of a chicken or a meat maybe.
Yeah.
But if you tell me like, okay, let's go for a lunch, I'll say let's go for a veg.
Okay.
Because I'm from Goa, so technically we normally eat veg food or maybe fish.
Yeah, a lot
so
of fish.
There's not a lot of meat. You'll not find, and maybe hardly on a Sundays we would eat chicken.
So every organisms or every animal, like fish, has got the lowest level of consciousness connected to it. But other animals have got higher levels of...
The domestic animals.
Yeah, the beef and all of them have got higher levels of consciousness, and they are like humans, right? They feel, they weep and all of that. Unless you have... So it's a very debatable subject, whether you should be a vegetarian or non-vegetarian.
Yeah.
It could be both. It doesn't really matter. If you have those practices